Hi everyone, welcome back to An Exception to the Rule. Today I'm showing you a tutorial for an office look that I filmed the other day while I was getting ready to work. So I start off with applying the Makeup Forever HD primer in green to even out the redness in my face. I just use my fingers, but obviously you're welcome to use brushes. I find fingers a lot quicker, obviously, and for me the application is a lot more even. Then I use the All Matte Primer by Makeup Forever, which I put on the back of my hand to warm it up a bit and then apply just on my T-zone instead of all over my face. This primer is set to stop my skin from oiling up too much. I've only been using it just recently, so I'm not ready to judge yet, but I'm using it nonetheless. So yeah, I apply that again just with my fingers, but you again can obviously use your brush if you want. Then I use the Makeup Forever HD foundation in 125. I put it on the back of my hand again to warm it up, although that's not very necessary because the product itself is actually quite liquidy, so no need to warm up. Then I use my stippling brush by Sephora, which I got recently. I like this brush a lot because it's not got a flat top. It's rounded on the top, so for me the application is a lot more even than I would get from a normal stippling brush. So yeah, I apply that just all over my face. I leave out my lids or my eye area because my eyelids are very, very oily, so I'm going to use a proper base for that instead of just using my foundation. And yeah, I make sure that I always apply some foundation on my chin as well, so that the colour, if it is too dark, which this colour is just a tad too dark, it blends out nicely. Once that's done, I start using the Urban Decay Primer Potion Eden, which is their new one, and I actually use it as concealer base because my concealers crease quite a lot. So I apply that, and because it is not see-through, and actually gives some sort of coverage as well, so I don't actually have to use as much concealer as I normally use. So it's got two upsides. It covers up and it makes my concealer stick and not crease. So thumbs up for that. Then I use I'm just showing you here how it covers up my dark circles. Then I use my concealer, which is the MAC Select CoverUp in NW20. And again, just for that, I just use my fingers. Obviously, you can use a blending brush or a concealer brush if you feel more comfortable, but I feel that I can blend concealers easier when I use my fingers, because while I use my fingers it warms up the product. And I don't just apply it under my eyes on my dark circles, I also apply it around my nose because that's where I get the most oil. So yeah, I do that. Once that's done, I powder everything down and set it with the Makeup Forever HD powder and my massive Sigma brush. And instead of just brushing it over, I kind of stipple the powder into my skin, onto the foundation, as that helps the foundation last longer. Once that's done, I go back to the Urban Decay Primer Potion and apply that on my eyelids, so from the upper lash line all the way to the brow, because I do like to have an even canvas. Again, I just use my fingers, but I've seen people, use blending brushes for that, or just normal flat stiff brushes for that. I just like using my fingers. Yeah, so all the way from the upper lash line to the eyebrows. Then I take an angled brush, like that one, and I just grab my sleek palettes, my sleek makeup palette in. This one is the Storm, and I use the brown that I just showed you on the lower right, on the lower row. And I just fill my brows in with that. I always make sure that my brows are actually quite scarce at their start, so towards the nose bridge. So I always fill that in and make sure that they are close together, because I feel my nose is wide as it is. So bringing the eyebrows together, closer together, makes the nose appear a bit smaller. So I do that. I just fill in my brows. And once that's done, I go back and use the MAC paint pot in Rubenesque, which is a golden colour, and I just apply that on my lid, so just from the lash line to the crease, and I do that on both eyes, obviously. And then I go back to my Sleek palette, so the Storm palette, and I use the lightest shimmery colour that they have, which is a very light ivory cream beige colour. And I use a stiff, fluffy, flat brush. This one is by Crown Brushes, and I just apply that all over the lid and blend it into the crease as well, so to get an even application, an even opaque. Yeah, and then I go back and use this. That's a brush, and then I go back and use the second, the colour that is a bit darker, and just fill in the outer half of my lids, like so. So that's the colour that I put on my lid, and that's the colour that I just used to deepen the eye colour a bit, to give it a bit more a 3D look. And then I go and use my e.l.f. crease brush and use that brown in the corner, which is a dark, rusty sort of brown, and I just blend it into the crease to give it even more of a definition and a bit more depth, because I've got quite hooded eyes. So I like putting a dark colour into my crease to give my eyes a bit more depth and to open them up a bit. So I do that, and I just blend it in. I just in there, and that famous windscreen wiper motion, and just back and forth, and I kind of bring it down to the outer half of my lash line as well, to create that famous V. And I just blend it out and give it a bit of a smoky look, so I bring it across the lash line as well. Just deepen up the colour a bit with the same. And then I go and take a different angled brush, which is the e.l.f. Studio brush, which is the e.l.f. Studio angle brush. And I believe I was using the MAC Fluidline and Blacktrack. And I just apply very, very close to the lash line, and just at the outer half I kind of flick it outwards. As I said, this is an office look, so I can't really do crazy colours. So the way I express my need for makeup and creativity and whatnot, I use eyeliner and create sometimes quite bold flicks, winged eyeliner, like that. I never get them 100% symmetrical, but that's just a case of practice. And I just keep doing that and just try to apply the colour as opaquely as possible. Obviously you can use a normal eyeliner brush, so a pointed brush, but I actually quite prefer using an angled brush. It makes the application a lot easier, and with a gel liner that's even easier. Then I use the Avon SuperShock gel liner and apply it on my upper waterline, which makes my lashes look fuller than they actually are. While I let that settle, I take my MAC blush, my Flirt and Tease blush, and my Femme brush, and swirl all around the product, and then just apply it very lightly on my cheeks, like so. I quite like this blush because it's a wintry colour, or I think of it as a wintry colour. It looks quite natural when it's on. So yeah, while that all settles, I start using my MAC lip pencil. This one's in Dervish. I like this pencil because it actually matches my natural lip colour quite well, but gives a bit more definition to my lips. So I apply that around my lips and then colour my lips in. Excuse my lips, they are very, very dry there. I only scrub my lips once a week with a self-made scrub, and this was in the morning, so I didn't really have any time to do this. So just fill it in. If you find your lip pencil to be too hard, too dry, just warm up between the tips of your fingers. So next step, I apply my MAC Pro Longwear lip cream, and that one was in Sweet Ever After. So now I just curl my lashes with the Koji curving eyelash curler. This one I got off eBay, I believe. And I just curl my lashes, and then I apply my Maybelline, the Falsies Voluminous Express mascara. This one's waterproof. I don't actually do any other than waterproof because it gets quite hot in the office sometimes, and I don't want my mascara to smudge everywhere. So I just apply that, and normally I see people wiggle it upwards into their lashes. I actually quite like to blink into the mascara wand. I feel like I have more control than that way. And then I go back to my Avon SuperShock gel liner and just apply it on my lower lash line and my waterline. And I love this gel liner. Everyone's been going on about it, and I love this one because it actually applies very opaquely and actually lasts a lot longer than the expensive gel liners as well. So I just style my hair and, whatever. And that's me. Bye! Thanks for watching. Bye.